My name is Michael and I am here to help you move into the 5D. A lot of other videos that got really good traction with me is how to meet your own needs and why it's so important, and also what you get out of meeting your own needs. So in this video I will go through all of those things that I think is really crucial for you to do and apply into your life so you can start to meet your own needs and get the success you actually really crave for. Many times we don't really know what to do. We feel like we don't know what to do, where to go, how to behave, where to live, or even how to be. And that is mostly because we've been brought up in a situation with families where we were supposed to meet our parents' needs. And when we then neglect our own needs and our own wants, and we started to really meet we thought we met the needs and wants of our parents, that creates a belief inside of our mind that literally tells me that my beliefs are not important, my wants are not important, and therefore I am not important. And when I am not important, I don't really know what to do. It also causes a lot of self-blame, rejection, a lot of escapism where we say we don't really know what we want. In the bottom of our heart we do know, but this victimization of ourselves that makes us smaller, it makes us a victim, it makes us someone that we are not, because in our heart we always know who we are and what we're capable of. We know it in our mind and we know it in our heart, and we can see it in other people. You're like, oh, that dude over there just did this thing and I know I can do it too, but for some reason I don't do it. I'd rather go and help this guy than helping myself. I'd rather go and try to help everyone else instead of helping myself. That is a behavior that is created from our upbringing when our parents couldn't meet our needs, our emotional needs. So therefore we started to meet there, and that was our coping mechanism. That was the way we got attention. That was the way that we got the love. Maybe it was the way that we got the hugs and the kisses and all of those things that should be completely, I would say, free. When we are kids, that's why we need unconditional love. We need unconditional attention, even if the parents can't give it to you 100%. But it shouldn't be a trade-off. It shouldn't be something that you trade with your parents, or you start to cope. And cope only means that you are literally finding a way to trade your parents' love, expectations, attention, and all of a sudden you find this mechanism which is like, oh, I'm gonna take care of your needs so I can get what I want. There is something called the 3 steps of consciousness, basically, and how we meet each other's need. So the first step here is the baby need. It's like me, I want. And that comes from a very unconscious survival mode. We're a child, we can't see anything else than it's everything about me. I have the world is basically around me and nothing else, and it's only me that exists. That's the first step. And this always happens in a relationship. So if you think about it, your parents was your first love. Your parents was your first relationship that you ever had. So what you're gonna do in an upcoming love relationship, in your when you grow up self, if you haven't evolved from number 1, you or someone else that you know are doing this. Me. Maybe you not watching, but you probably know someone that does this all the time. It's just about me. And that's just step number one, because their consciousness, their awareness is not so high and they haven't evolved. Is that making sense? Then we have the number two. That is a trade-off. That's called the horse trading. It's where you trade your attention towards sex. Men often trade sex for attention, and women trade attention for sex. It just goes the opposite way many, many times. And you live in a world where you constantly basically just trade. Oh, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you love, but then I want something for you. And when we do this, we are stuck in an endless trading, like there's no love that can be flourished there, because what happens is that you always use one or another value back and forth. It's never unconditional. It's not like, I do this because I love you. It's not like that. It's more like, I do this because I gain something from doing this with you. Is that making sense? And this step of horse trading, it's basically comes also from a survival place where like, oh, I need to survive. I need to I can't give unconditionally because I'm not abundant enough to do this. I don't believe that the world is abundant, therefore I need to trade with you. I need to trade so I make sure that I gain something more valuable from you, instead of believing that life, source, God, universe, you're just gonna give it to me anyway because I'm abundant in my soul, in my heart. I know that I will always attract the right things. It comes from a place of scarce, an underlying tone of I don't have enough, and therefore I need to do this trade. Then we have the absolute top of this, and that's unconditional love. I do this because I love who you are. I do this because I'm abundant. I'm giving to you because I know that everything in the universe comes back to me when I believe it comes back to me. I am so abundant that I just give. And when I give, I receive. And the more I give, the more I receive. And I believe that giving is receiving. I believe that when I give, I always get back. When I start to believe this thing, all of a sudden, when I start to give myself everything that I need, and that could be you buying things for yourself, that could be you taking time for yourself, that could be you saying no to a job that doesn't really resonate with you, it could be you moving somewhere, it could be you saying no to a friend, that could be a lot of different things. But many times, and this trade-off thing does not just happen with money. It happens with relationships, it happens with people, it happens with everything around you basically. And when we start to meet our own needs by saying, I'm gonna give to myself, I can give to others, I can give to the world because the world is giving back to me. All of a sudden opportunities start to come that you never seen before, that you never even thought was possible for it to happen, for example. Those will start to happen. And a really good question that I've been saying in the other videos too is, what are my needs? And what is a need for me? Because if you don't really know what a need is for you, all of a sudden you can't start to give that to yourself. Why I just talked about giving to the world is because you need to give to yourself. When we give to ourselves, we start to give to other people. And when we give to ourselves, we at the same time receive to ourselves. Is that making sense? So when you buy yourself a really nice dinner at you're gonna have to take some time off because you've been working so hard, you are giving yourself time, and when you give yourself time, you receive your time. And when you can receive, you can also receive from life, because life cannot give you unless you are available for receiving. Is that making sense? And many, many, many times we comes from upbringings where there was no one that received. It came from scares. It was always fearful. We didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough food. We had to fight for our living. We have to trade and like be greedy and needy and take from other people to survive. That is no longer a pattern in the 5D world. If you are on your way into the 5D, this must be deleted from your mind. It must be deprogrammed, resetted, deleted, and never be there again. And by doing that, you will live in abundance for the rest of your life. But it's like a hard way to even get there. Most people, they would never face themselves, because it means that you need to get like out of your old stuff and shit that you've been into. You need to let go of all the fears you have around every single belief that you've been carrying for your whole life. Are you are you willing to do that? Are you willing to change and question all of your beliefs around fear and scarcity to get to the place of infinite abundance when you can get anything you want? If the answer is yes, then this is for you. Then this would be the thing that I would focus on the most, all the time. How much can I give? Because it's when you give in the moment when you don't even have, that's gonna change you to the core. It's gonna change you inside of here. Because when you give, when you don't really have, that is the way you let go of fear, and you realize and you see that life is just gonna sweep in and support you and give you the things that you need in the moment. All of a sudden you start to believe that there's like a God, or there's something out there. Universe, source, infinite intelligence comes in and gives you exactly in the time when you need it. But not until you even put yourself in that situation, you will experience that. There is no way for the universe to give all of those things to you if you don't put yourself at risk and just like go for it. Surrender, let go, and please subscribe to the channel because I appreciate you so much. If you like it, like the video, and I will see you in the next one.